So just how bad are these fires in Europe this summer? Mark Parrington is a senior scientist at the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service. I asked him to put the wildfires in a wider context.
Well, we're basically using satellite measurements from space to measure the temperature and the intensity of these fires. So we don't have a very long time series. It goes back about 20 years, over the last 2 decades. And we have daily information, so we can provide some context for what's currently happening in relation to what we've seen in the past 20 years. The day-to-day variability in the intensity of these fires around the eastern Mediterranean, southeast Europe, are currently at a level that's well above what we've seen in terms of the average of the previous years of data that we have.
I know the south of Europe isn't the only area that you've been looking at over recent months. We've also been looking at the Siberian fires too, so this isn't the only region that's affected, is it?
No, that's right. And in Siberia, in central parts of Siberia, really massive area of wildfires that have been burning at a high level of intensity since the middle of June. And also in North America, in Western Canada, Central Canada, California, the Pacific Northwest. Since the end of June, beginning of July, we've seen, again, really huge wildfires and forest fires which have been burning and producing lots of smoke and pollution that's traveling thousands of kilometers downwind.
What are the most significant factors that trigger high fire risk, and how are they usually monitored?
So one of the common features that we're seeing for the fires in the Mediterranean, in Siberia and North America is they're occurring in regions which have been experiencing heat wave conditions, also very dry and drought conditions. What that means for the vegetation that's burning is that it has a high flammability. That is to say, it's ready to catch fire when there's an ignition. So the difficult thing is understanding the ignition and measuring or predicting the ignition. But the dryness and the heat means that the risk of fire is very high, so that when there is an ignition, that we're able to then witness fires that are burning in the scale that we're seeing.
And as we look at these awful pictures of Turkey and Greece and Italy on fire, I wonder what the environmental impact is of all of that smoke and ash going into the atmosphere in such huge volumes.
Exactly. There's the direct implication or the direct impact on the atmosphere is in terms of severely degraded air quality, which is, has serious risks for human health, particularly in large population centers that may be directly downwind of the fires. And there are studies over many years which also show that as well as the air quality, ash and smoke from fires can degrade water quality, so drinking water could be affected. But yeah, there's a number of factors that this has in terms of the environmental consequences.